Awesome, man. And to kind of go along the path that you're just talking about, I was curious about potential NFTs, airdrops. What about, does Pengy have any friends? Like a Pengyverse. We
Hmm.
mentioned that before. Collectibles, merchandise. Christmas time, this could blow. So anything like that in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we have one of our partnered projects has their own token, and you don't need the token to use their platform. They're even a younger project than us. So I don't want to give away and say who it is specifically because I haven't told the community who it is. But long story short, one of our partnered projects has promised us an airdrop in the future for PengyOS holders. So that's something that's coming
Nice.
down the road. Beyond that, yesterday I stumbled across a free mint of some like penguin themed NFTs on Solana, and I minted a whole bunch of them. And
Mm,
I just I posted them in the Telegram and offered to give them away to community members, and people seem to really love them. So it definitely showed that there's some interest for us doing some kind of NFT of our own, and it's got me thinking. I personally have experience deploying an NFT collection from start to finish, layer generation to the IPFS metadata nonsense to actually getting it live on OpenSea and beyond. So it's definitely something within our wheelhouse. We have some great artists within the community, so we can definitely come up with something. When we come out with an NFT, I just want it to have something extra that makes it special beyond just being an NFT that sits in your wallet. So we're not going to rush into it, drop something next week, even though we could. We're going to take our time and stew on it a little bit and figure out a way to make it more than just a JPEG sitting in your wallet. But absolutely, definitely have some NFTs coming down the road. I think I told you this week was kind of like a bit of a hell week. I had my anniversary,
mm.
wife's birthday, got Mother's Day coming up, so it was a little bit of a grind on the family
Of
side.
course.
But I definitely I saw you guys' messages talking about this like Pengyverse concept. We actually have a 3D like digital designer in our community. And are you familiar with the OnCyber platform by chance? Have you heard of it?
I'm not, no.
So kind of like a metaverse, a very easily buildable metaverse with Web3 integration. You can basically, if you rig up some little 3D models, you can plug them in,
Mm,
customize, where, like the environment around them, and community members can log in as like little avatars, and you can like walk up and like talk to other people in this environment. So we have someone that's messing around with uh, possibly creating one of those already, and that was kind of a side to your guys' idea that I saw in your Discord about like a Pengyverse thing. So I think the ideas can kind of go hand in hand, and I invite you and your community members that were discussing that to come over to our Telegram and link up with our guy that's working on that. I think something really cool could come out of it.
absolutely. That's that's a whole nother ball game. And I do want to address, we do have a request for someone to speak. We'll talk for a few more minutes, getting to know more about the project. And then if you want, you can request questions. I think that should be okay with you, Fauci's.
Yeah, it's cool.
So at that time, I'll let you know, but you can put your request in now, and then I'll go down and approve them in order as we go. Just want to let you know I'm not ignoring you, whoever's. Maybe a little bit of elaboration on potential utility for the token.
Got it. Dab, you want to jump in and cover this since you wrote the light paper, brother?
Yeah, let me just pull it up really quick. So I think important to note that, and we put a disclaimer on the light paper because it's nothing at this point is set in stone. We want to integrate the token into the platform because it drives value in a way to and an incentive for folks to hold our token. So I know Fauci briefly touched on the partner involvement. So one example, it would be, hey, a partner wants to integrate and they want their app to be on the home screen locked so that it can't be taken off and removed and put in the app folder that Fauci mentioned. So they would they would buy and lock an amount of POS that we establish to have that for a certain amount of time frame. So like 6 months is what we were, mulling over. So 6 months, the partner holds POS in a locker. And after the 6 months, it's, again, we want to ensure that it's a free, open market with our coin. If they want to continue supporting us, they can relock the coin. They're not required to repay another amount. From what I understand, Fauci, correct me if I'm wrong, but so that would be a way they actively buy into the project as well as having their applet on our platform.
Kind of tie their invest into the future of our project, essentially, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's an option. With that, I think anybody that wants to partner with us and do something like that, they need to see users. So an important note is that we have to design this to drive as many users as possible, because if we don't have users, there's no ad space and partnerships, things like that just won't generate as much revenue as we would need. So again, driving users is important, but these are opportunities for us to integrate the token into Pengy. Another one we mentioned was a trading bot with revenue share, and we're still looking into the feasibility of this because of how iframes works, and I think one of our devs here is listening in, so he's probably cringing on my explanation of this, but we want to make it as safe as possible, the trading bot. And so we're still, mulling through the feasibility of if it's possible to do what we were trying to do with the bot inside the platform. And that was to have a Telegram bot-esque experience, meaning it's permissionless and it's safe, but don't have to use Telegram. I personally don't like trading through Telegram bots. It becomes clunky. If there was something very similar involved in Pengy, and then you have all the rest of your tools right there, that was really our goal. And then having a revenue share option with that. So
I want to add to that, if you don't mind. To clarify, Dab was speaking on a bespoke trading bot that we were looking to build out ourselves with like a web-based interface. We do have the option to partner with a few other projects that have basically already done this. And one of them in particular, based on our feedback, has created a model to where there would be a 1% fee to use the trading bot on our platform. But out of that 1%, 25% of it goes to rev share of the project. 25% of it burns the token that you're trading. 25% goes to development of the trading bot platform, and the other 25% goes to holders of their token that they created for their platform. This is the kind of idea that, if we do partner with like an external project to add this trading bot that we're looking to do, that's the kind of level of like integration that we're looking for, and that actually adds utility to anyone that for like our token. If you're trading Pengy through the trading bot on the Pengy platform, you're actually burning the supply and making all of the tokens in all of our wallets slightly more valuable at the same time.
Very cool. Yeah, I think building all of that into it and down the road, there's going to be it'll be great, and people want to see utility built into any serious project that they're looking for long term. And I like where it's headed, and only time will tell. We'll see how it goes.
Sorry to interrupt you, but one piece of utility that hasn't made it onto the light paper yet is we're in talks with integrating a really cool project. I don't mind hard chilling them. It's called Sold My Soul. And basically what it is a...
I'm invested in that.
Yeah. A bunch of your community knows what it is. If Maddie's listening, he's shouting and cheering right now. But basically Sold My Soul is like a pump.fun trading bot / filter, and you need to hold their token, a certain amount of it, to gain access to their platform. But we're in talks with establishing a certain amount of holding a certain amount of Pengy that could actually get you access to the platform. And that's another kind of utility that we're, something that we can create and add for our holders is, anything add to our platform that requires any kind of their token natively to hold it, we can negotiate with them to, create some kind of threshold for holding Pengy to gain access to the platform, so you're not having to buy and hold 1,000 different tokens to use all the different dApps and stuff like that.
Very nice. Nice.
And at least
I
for
like
me,
it.
that's one of my like biggest turnoffs about using a lot of these different like utilities that are built around tokens, is they're super great ideas, but it's like, man, I don't want to have to hold a bunch of your token to be able to use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
If there's another way, can I pay a subscription or anything? Like
Yeah.
it's
There
Token
was some
gating is
crazy
tough.
app. I forgot what it was. It was a recent project. You had to hold like $100,000 worth of their token to have access to some. Or there was also another like Soul. I think Soul Car. I don't know. There's certain ones like if
There
you
was
have.
one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was one called Soul Pod where it was like you have to hold 1 million tokens to get airdrops from them, and they like they essentially had like a team of people going into like shit coins and meme coins, and then if it would pump, they would like distribute the meme coin to the one, like based on how much you held, you got a bigger airdrop or something. I think token gating is tough though, because it's like unless it scales, then if the price of the coin goes up, then your barrier of entry increases. And so I think there's a tasteful way to do it, but having it set at one value is hard, because exactly what I just said. Like if the market cap shoots up and your requirement is 100K tokens, but that's now like $5,000, that's a ton of users that can't access whatever you're selling.
Yeah, but if you only had to hold one token to get access to all of them, that
Yeah,
one token sounds like one that I'd actually want to hold now, doesn't it?
Well, who buys one token? So that's the trick, right?
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
So I want to
Well,
pivot.
that's the cool thing, is like if you find a tool and you see value in the tool and you're like, oh wow, this is actually like really cool, like you probably want to go buy their token afterwards
Of
still.
course. Yeah. I mean, if
And
you
that's
ran a program like that and then they saw your platform, like anyways, they're not going to buy just to have access to the, utility if they are not a fan of the project anyway. So it's kind of
exactly.
like goes hand in hand together,
Yeah, it almost gives them like a test preview, you know what I mean? That's part of the incentive for projects that integrate with us to want to do something like that, is because they realize that. And also, if you go tell, let's say you have to hold 5 million Pengy, it's a decent investment to get that right now. But if you only had to hold 300K as Joe Smo, friend that was told about it by someone that gained access by holding the 5 million Pengy, they're probably going to go buy the 200K of the other token. You know what I mean? So the projects have started to realize that, and they're like, okay, I get it. I see value in giving access to your holders. Give us a little time to figure it out on our end to actually make it happen, and yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. That's cool. You guys are a bright bunch. I got to tell you, you guys come up with cool ideas, cool concepts. And you know what's interesting is when you're developing a project, because I've had multiple businesses. This is one of my ventures that I've done over life. And as you do a business and as you're building, opportunities and ideas come. It's almost like it's what they say is true. When one door closes, another one opens. But when you open the door to a business that you take seriously, doors don't close usually. They just keep opening and then opening and opening, and new ideas keep coming and coming. And then more people that you had no idea, like things that you would do, like probably you didn't even think that it was going to reach where it is at that point. You're like, wow, how did we get here? But then you see all the work that goes into it, all the ideas, all the energy that was spent mentally, physically to to build this business, over the long term. It's a gratifying experience to have, and to see you guys just kind of brainstorming, and I can hear the ideas like wanting to come out, you know what I mean? So it's really cool to see, community leaders and devs and stuff like that, and like approaching things this way. But I do have a question or two from my community I wanted to ask. So kind of it will pivot the conversation a little bit. So one is from Maddie. You mentioned Maddie before. He's actually one of my moderators. So Maddie, thank you for everything you do. I think you're here. If not, you'll hear it later. Is there a plan to reach out towards Solana devs? Have you had any communication with them so far? And in my words, I just say, does Solana know you exist?
No, Solana doesn't know we exist technically. We've done a little bit of rating on Twitter where we'll tag Tolly or rate a Tolly tweet or something like that. But as far as like officially approaching the Solana Foundation looking for a grant or something like that, we have a little bit more work to do so that when we approach them, we basically look like we have all of our shit together. It's definitely something that we intend to do. Two ways for this to happen. Either they discover us through this rating and, or a cool integration or partnership or new development or etc. Or, we get our shit together and actually officially approach them. I could tell you from the level of some of the projects that have reached out to us recently, we're not far off from cracking that egg just organically without having to be the ones that knocked on their door. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing, heads down, focused on working, building, improving the platform, adding new exciting dApps and stuff like that. And eventually we'll get it in a place to where if we need to, we'll approach them and kind of make this thing a little more official.
Very nice. So also maybe I was thinking you're already on mobile, so that makes it Web 2. So Solana Mobile, I believe, is going to be only Web 3. Is that something you're looking to build on? Is that an option? Is there anything there that could be on the Saga phone in the future?
Yeah, so this kind of ties in with that last question perfectly. Same kind of deal. We had intentions and interest to eventually approach Solana Mobile.